Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Lainey. I'm a lover of all things beauty and makeup, and today I'm going to go over the 22 palettes that I currently have in my No Pan Left Behind. And I do want to say that I'm going to let it dwindle down to about 10 palettes so that I won't have so many to go through each update. And hopefully with it going down to 10, I'll be able to update more frequently. But let's get started. I'm gonna scoot over a little bit so that I can pop up looks with these, because I did take pictures of all of the looks that I've made so far. And today I actually have the Muse palette on. So I did kind of like a green purplish look with one of the iridescents that they had in the palette. I did use 6 shades. So I ended up using this one. This one is my deepening shade, this is my crease, and this as the inner half. And then I used this shimmer and this shimmer here. And I will say most of these palettes are in my No Pan Left Behind right now because they were either brand new at the end of 2025 or I didn't know if I should declutter them during my declutter. So that is why there are so many, and that's why I'm gonna let it dwindle down to 10. The Muse, I'm still undecided about. I really do enjoy the look that I've made, and we will see when I use the rest of the colors. So next I have the Mighty Monsters palette. This is from Odin's Eye, and this was a collaboration with Annette. So I ended up using 4 shades in this palette. I used Oceanic, Ophidian, Glow Vortex, and Ouroboros. Again, still undecided about this palette. I am leaning more towards declutter, but I am going to finish my No Pan Left Behind before I make any final decisions. And then I have the Serenity palette from Cosmic Beauty. I used 5 shades, and I ended up using Opal, which is the iridescent topper color. I used River, Echo, Mood, and Serenity to make the blue look. And I really enjoyed the look I made with this, so I am leaning towards not decluttering. Next, I have a Nomad palette, the Ghost Town USA. I used 6 shades, and I did use all of these right here to make the look. So that is Ghost Town, Stagecoach Mary, Arrested Decay, Gold Rush, Calico California, and Smoky Quartz. I was really torn about this palette because I really do love Nomad's neutrals. They're so good, but a lot of the shades are like a gray scale, but I really enjoyed the look I made with this palette, so I am excited to finish my No Pan Left Behind on that. Then I have the Nomad Orient Express. So I did use 5 shades, and I will say my partner really enjoyed the look that I made with this one. He actually did compliment me. You know, it was a little bit a mix of neutral with a pop of color. So I'm still kind of on the fence about this one. The shimmer was a little bit dry. Paris was a little bit dry, but other than that, this is really neutral heavy and green. So I'm really torn on this. I'm gonna complete my No Pan Left Behind. Next, I have Sinister from Cosmic Beauty. And I will not be using this shade Ghost because it's like a clear gel, but I did end up using 7 of the shades. And you know, at first I thought that I should declutter this because I do have the Death palette, but as I was using them and comparing them, they really do go hand in hand more than one is to replace the other. So I really enjoyed the look with the Sinister palette, and I'm leaning towards keeping that. Next, I do have the Death palette from Cosmic Beauty. I did a silvery halo eye with this, and I thought it was so pretty. I really enjoyed this look, and I cannot wait to use all of these shades. Next, I have the Witch City Salem. I used 5 shades and did like an orange with a deep red inner and outer corner. This was another halo eye look that I did, and I think it turned out absolutely wonderful. I know a lot of people said that they didn't understand the color story, but to me this is perfect for Halloween and really good for the halo eyes and doing contrasting colors. Next, I have the Sorcerer palette from Fantasy Cosmetica, and this one, I thought the look came out okay. It had nothing to do with, you know, the blendability or anything like that. It's just the color story I really don't understand, and I am leaning towards decluttering this at the end of the year. I really do love Fantasy Cosmetica. I do love their formula and their palettes. It's just this one doesn't feel like it's for me. Next, I have the Nomad Whistler Snow Lodge palette, and I used 6 of the shades to make a blue look. I do love blue eyeshadow. I love green eyeshadow, so that's really a comfort zone for me, and I did enjoy this look. I do wish they had a little bit more variety in the shimmer. They only have like this dark red and this dark blue. I wish they would have had something a little bit more. And then I have the Nomad Chicago Speakeasy. I used 7 of the shades to create my look. Again, I really enjoy this quality. I like how they do the light and the dark. It's very easy to blend, so you don't necessarily need a mid-tone, but they do have a couple just in case. I do wish there was a little bit more variety in the shimmer again, but I still think it turned out really nice. Then I have the Nightmare Before Christmas palette. This doesn't really have a brand besides the fact that it came from Macy's. I used 4 of the shadows, and this one I am leaning more towards a declutter because there are only 2 matte shades in this, and that is this one and this one. So you're really trying to make a look based on shimmers and satins, and that is not my favorite. Then I have the Spring Dragon palette from Odin's Eye, and this was with Judy. I used 4 of the shades to create my look. This is a very pastel palette with a deepening shade, and I understand why they did the brown instead of a black because of the way that pastels work, having a white base to them. I'm still not sure about this one. Like, I do love pastels, but I don't know if this was, you know, what I was looking for when I was trying to do my pastel color. Also, I wish that they had different shimmers. There's only 4 shimmers in this palette. 5. I think this one's more of a satin though. And I really wish there had been a blue shimmer instead of it being 2 pink, a purple, a peach, and then like a silvery topper. I would have loved corresponding shimmers to like these 3. Then I have the Cosmic Beauty Starlight Society. I love this palette. I used 5 of the shades. I used this whole row right here. So stunning, so beautiful. just one of the best palettes, I swear. At least in my collection, I highly enjoy this. I think the color story is fantastic, and the formula is just amazing. Another one that I really love is the ColourPop Shrek palette, which I know is weird for ColourPop. I used 3 shades, but the look turned out so nice. Like, I love greens, and this just, I was not expecting the quality to be as good as this was. You know, I've heard a lot of people say ColourPop's hit and miss, or some of the shadows are good, some aren't. Again, I've only used 3, but I know this one right here is just amazing. I think it's supposed to be like a I can't talk today, a Super Shock formula, and the mattes that I used just blended out so beautifully. This was a good first palette for me to get from ColourPop because it performs so nice. Then I have the Shadow of Secrets from ColourPop. I ended up using 5 of the shades to create my look. Again, this one worked really good. It has good quality. I'm just not as into purples, but I am trying to use them more and get more comfortable with using them. Again, this was a good quality. I did like the look that I made, and hopefully I will be able to step more into purples. But I also like how this has like a neutral twist to it. It does look like there is a pressed glitter, but I didn't use it. I don't think I've ever actually used a pressed glitter, and I probably won't because that just got everywhere. But other than that, I did enjoy it. Then I have the BH Cosmetics Do Not Disturb. Again, another blue look. I really was shocked with this formula because I'm pretty sure BH Cosmetics is no longer a brand, and the quality of this was really nice, especially for it to be, you know, like a lower end brand. Again, I heard like BH Cosmetics, and from what I had tried when I was younger, they just weren't like the good quality, especially compared to indie palettes. But I really enjoyed working with these blues, and this shimmer and this satin was stunning. And then I have another BH Cosmetics palette. I used 4 of the shades right here to make my look. I don't like this one as much as the Do Not Disturb. Just the color story, not the formula. I'd say the formula is pretty much the same. It's really the color story. Next, I have Odin's Eye Silvery Bliss. This was one of the Christmas palettes. Again, I didn't know if I should keep or declutter. I ended up using 5 shades to create my look. And I will say, what I've noticed with a lot of the Odin's Eye palettes when I have been using them is they have like this inner corner color in a lot of the palettes, but it's chunky and has fallout and kind of makes my eyes itch. Like the other ones I'm fine with, but it's normally the inner corner like highlight shade that I find it to be chunky. I don't know if anyone else has noticed or experienced that. Let me know if I'm just crazy or if you've also experienced something similar. I'm still on the edge about that one. I did enjoy the look. It's just that inner corner color really threw me off. But next I have the Flora Story palette. Now, I used 6 shades, again, to create a green look. Now, this inner corner, I really like this formula that they do. The smooth one, I really like this one. I don't like the chunky one that they do. I'm on the fence about that one. I'm thinking that one's probably more leaning towards declutter. I have plenty of green eyeshadows that I love, and you know, I'm not as big into purple, but the purples that I do use are not in that palette. So I am kind of leaning towards letting that one go. Then I have the Rosy Jingle from Odin's Eye. I ended up using 4 shades. When I did my declutter, I really thought about decluttering this one, but I'm glad I didn't. I really enjoyed the formula and the look that I made with this. It was different, but in a good way. It was in a good way. I'm really glad I kept this palette, and I'm really glad that I am using it now. And I can't wait to see what other looks I make with this one. And then the last palette has 2 different looks because it's such a big palette. This is the Odin's Eye Eternal Twilight palette. It's kind of 2 palettes in one, which is why I went ahead and did 2 looks. So the first one I did, I wanted to declutter this, but then I had saw Caitlin Costello use it, and I was like, maybe I should do a No Pan Left Behind just to make sure. So I ended up using 5 shades on this side for the first look, and loved it. Like, blew me out of the water. This half, love it. It's amazing. I wish that these would have been separate palettes, because the second look, I used this half and used 5 shades, and it just didn't wow me. I love oranges and bright colors, and it didn't do it for me. I was really disappointed in it. Not that the quality was bad or anything like that. It didn't make me go wow like this side did. So I'm gonna finish my No Pan Left Behind on it. Hopefully I start liking it more. I really wish I could just cut the palette in half and get rid of the orange peach pink side and keep the darker side, but I'm not gonna do that. So, but that is all of the palettes that I have started working on my No Pan Left Behind with. Again, I am gonna let it drop down to about 10 palettes so I can update more often and not have so many in a project, because it is a lot. But I hope you enjoyed this content, and if you did, make sure to like and subscribe. I am trying to hit 600 before my birthday in March, and I would love if you joined the little community. I hope you have a wonderful day, and thank you for tuning in.